Hey everyone, welcome to the Broken Shifter Podcast. Not live from Daytona. I'm Hurdon.
I'm Carbon.
I'm Caboose.
I'm Amp.
Still?
And we're going to go straight into stage winner and race winner.
Alright, so the race was Daytona, the Coke Zero 400. Your stage winner was Ricky Spinhouse Jr., and race winner, that Jones boy.
Rookie.
Mr. Mullet.
And he shared
Okay,
that mullet
so-
with the world.
We're just going to title this the Ricky Stenhouse Podcast at Daytona because the whole race was pretty much just about him destroying about $10 million worth of race cars. I'm a Stenhouse fan. He's a good restrictor plate racer, but a little too aggressive. So where should we start? Pushing Brad a little too hard, trying to get to the front. Hit him on the right rear bumper. He didn't hit him on the quarter panel. He hit him on the bumper. Brad, obviously, wrecked. Kurt Busch got caught in that. Kurt Busch has won a Daytona race before. Took out
Only
Chase.
one restricted plate winner.
Yep, he took out Chase. I mean, Chase was back in it, but anyways,
Chase had the
cars
fastest car,
involved.
too.
Chase Elliott. Yeah. Well, Chase is good at restrictor plate races as long as he doesn't get wrecked, but he gets wrecked every time. Because he got Chase, Larson, Hamlin, Bowman, Logano, Suarez, Blaney, and people that probably weren't going to win anyways. So
He took out more than half the field.
Yeah.
He
Took out
took
22
out-
cars in total.
Yep, there you go. So, what do y'all think? I'm gonna pose this question a little different. What do y'all think about the fact that he did that fairly early on for a long? Yeah, the races are long, but what do y'all think about the fact that he was that aggressive that early?
To me, with me, I've done restricted plate driving on iRacing, and I've been that aggressive before, and it is something that can work. And I believe he is a smart driver, but something about last night, he was just being a fucking moron.
It's like he was getting desperate for the win. Like he needed that win.
Yeah.
He does.
He-
for the
and he does
playoffs,
need it.
but
Yeah,
he's like back in. I think he was back in 17th place or something like that. Prior to the race.
17th
but,
in points. Yep,
Yeah.
that's correct.
I don't know. It was.
See, I think besides getting
Go ahead.
desperate, I think he likes to get aggressive way too early.
Yeah.
Way too early. Because this
Yeah,
has
I
been a
agree.
problem for a while now with him.
And
I mean,
it's-
I don't
it's-
mind aggressive driving, but there's a point that you stop at not even 100 laps in.
Right, and this seems to be a thing because Ricky only really has a chance to win at restrictor plate races, and he's very, very good at them, but he's not finding his way to get there the correct way. And I guess patience just wore thin with him, and he just started plowing people, and did it all night long.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I was
Now,
definitely
Dale's-
mad because he took out Chase, and he had the fastest car.
Yeah.
But then I also expected that to happen to Chase because that happens all the time. And
Chase can't finish a race anymore.
But man,
He'll be
after
lucky
the
to make
second
the
and
chase.
third, yeah, after those second and third incidents that he caused, that was when it was like, okay, how long until you actually need to black flag him because this is getting stupidly dangerous,
Out
and
of
just
control.
ridiculous. He's being dumb. I mean, I
Yeah.
know these cars are not properly set up for pushing at all. Like they're purposely
Not
set up
since
to
they've
deter
changed
pushing.
them. Yeah, they've
And-
changed the cars so much. Yeah.
I think they really need to fix the back ends of the cars. Maybe make them a little better for pushing. and that would
Concave instead of
probably-
convex.
yeah, that
No,
would
they
probably
don't.
help.
And see, I'm in the opposite field here. I think they need to go back the way it was back in the 90s and stuff like that, where the front bumper was rounded and the rear bumper was flat, like say the Chevy Lumina or Monte Carlo, and have it that way, but don't fucking set them like ass deep in the track. Let them be up off the ground a little bit. Let them fight
that's
the
the
car.
thing, you can't.
Yeah.
With the way these new cars are, not new, the Gen 6 cars, the way they've been built from the start is they are 100% aero dependent, so you can't get them off the ground at all. Otherwise, you're screwed.
I'm
Start to
saying
get rolling issues as
NASCAR.
well.
Unless you're Paul Menard.
Yeah, yeah. True story on that one, Amp.
But especially if you're Jamie. And you're around Newman.
No,
Mm.
let's
When
have.
anyone's around Newman.
How about this? The 2019 NASCAR season is all 87 Monte Carlos, Pontiac, Dodge, and Ford Thunderbirds, shit like that. Let's just bring that shit back, and then see how good all these son of bitches are.
No, you know what? Well,
Yep.
want to know what we need to do? We just need to get the showroom floor models put in roll cages
Exactly.
and call it a day.
Yeah,
Race it on Sunday, buy it on Monday. It's what we need to go back to.
yeah,
650
exactly.
horsepower Camaro, 500 horsepower Mustang, and what, 300
And,
horsepower Camry?
Maybe 250.
Yeah,
maybe
put
300
them
if you're
on the
lucky.
track the way they are. You know, so not that Chevy would have a little bit of an advantage.
That's
or
when they'd
anything.
probably for sure switch over to the Supra. Or do something
Yeah.
crazy with the Camry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Speaking
so
of
that's
which,
actually
other
where they
news in
start
NASCAR.
making-
Their
What?
Toyota's going to Supra. Justin knows more about it than I do.
Oh yeah, I guess
Or
we
carbon.
should talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that at the end though.
Okay. All right,
But,
so we got a. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna continue.
Oh, Gase, McDowell, Almirola, crash. Probably the moment of the race that made you giggle a little bit because Almirola's tire came off and actually passed him over his car.
Oh, by the way, you did
So-
skip over one quick comment. Stenhouse did take out Kyle Busch, Byron, and Jamie Mack as well.
Oh yeah,
Just so you know.
yeah.
That was the second
and that I'm actually okay with the hitting Kyle Busch, not so much on the Byron. But after what Busch did,
Byron was doing good.
after what Busch did
leading.
to win the race, fuck Busch. Kyle Busch hate club all day long at the Broken Shifter podcast. But
Well, right
Yeah.
now the top three drivers, if none of them got a win until the playoffs, that'd be great.
yeah, I know. I'd like to see some different winners. But yeah, so the Almirola crash, his left rear tire came off, or wheel, I guess.
With the brakes still inside.
Yeah, so everything, the
Hub and all.
the hub, everything just came off, flying right across his car, going faster than he was. So
And the tire actually made it further than Amarola's car did. So
Yeah. So, what was y'all's thoughts on that? Was it a good giggle fit for y'all?
it was funny.
The tire itself, it was, but that actual incident itself did look a little painful.
I think the tire should have took the checkered flag. The way it was
Almirola
rolling,
wins.
There we
Just
go.
kidding.
It was like keep
It's
going.
just
No,
tire.
there we go. I just figured out how we fix plate racing. We just strap a tire to the front and back of everyone's car.
What would happen in that case? All right, say okay. This,
Oh wait, no, sorry. The tire went below the lines and passed. Apparently, he was already later.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
talk
a
about that.
Xfinity
Poor
reference
Justin
that we're
Haley.
all pissed about.
Fucking bullshit.
poor kid.
Okay,
We'll have some
so
Xfinity talk at the end.
so how does this happen? Say first and second place wreck at the end, and second place's tire beats first place across the line. Who's the fucking winner?
The tire.
Whoever's still running.
Is it
Whoever gets out of the car the fastest and runs across the line.
No, I'm saying is say they both go wrecking across the line, but one person in second place's tire gets there first. Who the fuck is it? The equipment that wins or the driver?
I'm assuming so.
It's got to be the
I
equipment.
think it's the main body of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the tire's part of the main body, ain't it?
No.
Not if it's detached.
Very easily.
Yeah.
No.
It's not.
Oh well, front fascia can be removed too.
Okay, technically yes, but
I'm-
not in the same
I'm-
way.
I'm
the
thinking-
the
I'm
tires
thinking-
get changed
Now, if the engine
during
crosses
the
the line
race.
first, then yes.
The tires
This
get
is-
changed during the race. The front fascia cannot get changed during the race.
I'm thinking
If that
neither
goes, you're
driver
done.
wins and the tire goes to victory lane.
You know what they need to do? They need to take it to where the driver has to take their shoe out while in the car and fucking throw the shoe. And whoever's shoe gets furthest gets the higher position.
I don't know. Okay, this has gotten stupid now.
Strongest.
All right, so moving on.
Well, this is the Broken Shifter podcast. Do you really expect
Exactly.
anything
It's
different?
not gonna
So-
be smart. It's not gonna be- all right, so we got
We dumb.
So let's see where
Larson.
are we at now. So Stenhouse has caused 2 wrecks already. So why not get a little bit of fucking karma? Kyle Larson blows a tire, hits the wall, comes down, and takes Stenhouse out. But guess what?
And the crowd
We're not
goes
through with him
wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crowd legitimately
So,
erupted during that point. It was hilarious.
I like Ricky
You would've-
Stenhouse,
as they
but
said,
he
you
was
would've
just
thought it
racing
was
like a
a,
dumbass.
Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you know what I just realized? There might be 2 reasons that the crowd went nuts. The Xfinity race, and because of Stenhouse being taken out.
So yeah, Larson. I don't know if he was overdriving the car again. It's hard to overdrive at Daytona, but he's well
had a
known for
rub.
wearing some tires up.
It was like right after one of the
he
other
had been involved in an
crashes
incident
that
earlier.
he was
Yeah.
involved in. And
Right. So that was Stenhouse didn't get it bad enough to where he wasn't gonna come back on the track. So Ricky Stenhouse came back out on the track, and so we're 2 to go, coming up to the white flag. Race is gonna be over. Nope, it's Daytona, baby. And Bubba Wallace. He's been up there a few times. He's had a few shots and kind of fudged it a little bit. And Bubba hit Boyer, got Harvick, and some other cars included Ricky Stenhouse.
Well, let's be fair, there was
Jr.,
a giant clusterfuck in front of him prior.
Trevor
just prior.
Bayne, and Jimmy Johnson, which sent the race into overtime. And P.S. That Jimmy Johnson ovation when he took the lead was incredible. It was really good.
You know who else we saw perform quite well last night and actually made it to the end?
McD was up there
He's
for a
good.
long time.
And McD.
no, McD
Yeah,
got
they
taken
both
out.
were.
And Jeffrey.
Back with the umbrella crash. The
Yeah,
tire
but they
crash.
were up front. They were.
But,
they
yeah,
were,
he was-
they
he
were
was
up front
leading.
for a while.
Case Kane was leading.
He was working well with Spinhouse.
They all had really good
And,
good possibilities, but at the end, the reason
Bubble.
Kane couldn't get through is because Truex ended up going to the bottom lane to block, and Buescher ended up
And
pushing
Bowman ditched
Jones
him at
past
that
him. And yeah, Bowman decided to go to the top lane for some
Yeah.
reason. I don't understand that one.
My boy Chris Buescher had a nice run too. He managed to get up through there. I
Both
swear,
GTG daughter racing cars. Top
Yeah.
7?
Top 5.
If you'd put Chris Buescher in a good damn car, he'd be winning like Truex or Harvick.
Well, maybe not to that extent, but
He's taking crappy equipment and he's putting it in the top 15 on a regular basis. He did it last year.
he's definitely out driving Dangalang.
Yes, he is. Yep. Chris Buescher's got talent and he needs a good ride. I like Alex Bowman, but I really, really wish they would have put Chris Buescher in that car. But I think Chris Buescher drives a Ford, so
Well, yet again,
Chris Buescher drives a Chevy.
Yeah,
he drives
that's
a Chevy.
team.
He drove a Ford for a
Hendrick.
while,
Buescher and
then he
AJ.
got released from
Both
this.
drive the Chevys.
Not necessarily, because I want you to think about this. At Kentucky, in 2015, Alex Bowman got his best finish in BK Racing Equipment at 17th. If he could do that in BK
at
Racing
17.
Equipment, Yeah.
I
Alex
think-
Bowman
I seriously
finished
do
like
think
7th
Bowman
at
has a
Phoenix in
good
Dale
chance.
Jr.'s car when he was
I'm
injured.
saying at Kentucky in BK
Oh,
equipment.
at Kentucky. All
Yeah.
right.
I said at Kentucky in BK equipment in 2015. He got his best finish there in BK equipment.
Well, they don't make this.
Who is still fucking running? Get the fuck out of here, BK.
Yeah. So what's
Yeah.
what's his name?
Okay,
I can't remember who the guy is. Who was the guy that was wrecking every week or blowing up?
Corey
Dale?
LaJoy.
Yeah, there you go. That winner.
Junior?
No, he just breaks shifters. So,
And there's
anyways,
the name of the podcast. Yeah, but we should move on to Amp's news. Amp, you had your favorite driver had a good finish.
yeah,
Good old Jeffrey.
almost
Top
got a
11
top 10.
finish. Best of his career.
He's inching up. He'll get there one day.
Not bad for someone who pieces together a ride whenever
Yeah,
he can.
But you
Hell,
know what the
11th
best
place
part
at
is?
Daytona is a good payday.
Yep.
Hell
Good
yeah.
payday for a team that has scrapped
No
together
money.
equipment, but you know what? We still have an Earnhardt coming to Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So he's just buying time till Isa,
nah,
whatever the fuck
it'd be
fucking Dale Jr. fucking had his kid named.
nah, it'll be the other one. What's her name? Elledge. Fuck, it's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s niece. It's his sister's daughter. Carson Elledge.
But does she have that Earnhardt last name?
And she's already racing. She's
been racing dirt modifieds.
She's an Earnhardt, yeah. She's and she's winning, and obviously they got money, so I wouldn't be
Well, that's the
surprised to
thing,
see her in a couple of years. I'd say maybe 3-4 years, because I think she's like 16 years old now. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that's one thing I'm wondering is I don't know if she carries the Earnhardt last name or if she just carries the Earnhardt blood.
She carries the Earnhardt blood. Her name's Carson Elledge, I think. Just because it's Dale Jr.'s sister's daughter. But
I am curious if she will have her last name changed to Earnhardt, so that way when she does go into
No.
the trucks
She
and
won't.
Xfinity,
I doubt it.
that'd be fucking goodish. Because
I'd
that
shut
Earnhardt
up.
name's going to bring her more money than her current last name.
Well, think about how TV works. They're gonna make it well known that it's Dale Jr.'s niece.
Yep.
And Dale Sr.'s granddaughter.
Yeah, they're gonna.
They're
All
gonna
they
push
have to
that
do
one
is say
hard.
she's related to Dale Jr. and everybody's gonna be like, what? It's gonna be all over the frickin'
Yeah,
place.
and having the last name Earnhardt's going to help that significantly.
Plus, you also got to think about it in the way of Jeffrey. He didn't want any of the handouts, so you don't know if she's going to want to do something similar like that. She doesn't want the handouts from her uncle or anything like that. She wants to make her own name. You never know.
Last I checked, Junior was giving her money towards her. Yeah. What she's doing in modifieds and stuff. Like funding the cars and stuff. But that's been a while. I could be wrong. Very possible.
And there's nothing wrong with taking in some exterior or interior influence in that sense, as long as you're actually doing something useful with it.
I wanna.
If
see
you're just
him
going
put
out there
her in
wrecking
the-
cars,
Yeah. Right.
but if you're going out there and winning,
Yeah.
there's a
I would-
difference.
Yeah. The thing is, he's gonna have to take her out there to Daytona or Talladega, and be like, "Try this shit." And show her how it goes. Put her in the passenger seat of a cup car that's like 80% speed and go out there and be like, look at her and be like, it goes faster than this, and there's 38 other cars near you. You got to figure out how to get through it. And that's when
That is another
reality
thing
will set in.
That's another thing I am wondering is if she's doing her homework of the history of NASCAR, like Dale Jr. did.
Dale
Up.
Jr. is a NASCAR historian, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, between her and that other Xfinity girl driver, it'd be nice to get like a better female.
Get some females
Thank you,
in.
Haley Deegan.
Yeah.
Aspect
Don't
into
forget about Haley
NASCAR.
Deegan.
Then
She's
like
Haley
Danica
Deegan.
was good for the
been doing good.
Danica was good for like just being the role model and everything, but
The promotion of the
the
sport.
actual driver aspect of her
She
was
brought
not very
fans
good.
to the track, viewership, stuff like that. And then when she
Yeah.
won the pole on the Daytona 500, or what was it, first race, it was just like
Yep.
everybody
It
was
was
losing their
500.
fucking mind. But
All right, so we want to discuss the Xfinity race a little bit.
and this one's gonna be on carbon.
Well, so two things about Xfinity. The first is from the race directly. They had so the coming to the finish. Who was it? It was Larson and somebody else, and then
It was
Haley
Larson,
behind.
Elliott
Sadler,
Sadler.
and then Haley
Sadler.
behind him.
Larson and Sadler were racing for the finish. It was coming around the last like turn 4. It was basically like, oh, we're coming to the tri-oval. Okay, yeah, it's pretty much either Larson or Sadler's race right now. Nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Haley comes from the cut just out of nowhere. Dips below Larson, crosses the yellow line just slightly, skates across, and wins Daytona. Unfortunately, that
And
was
then doesn't win it.
revoked because of NASCAR's rule, and Larson ended up being the official winner because Haley ended up crossing the line a little bit. What do you guys think about that? happening? Results?
All right, but all right. I want to do a bullshit meter on this one on a scale of 1 to 10, because in my view, he had already passed him before those tires touched the yellow, or went below them. There's no rule that says you can't touch the yellow line. He was already past the cars and currently the leader when he went below it. And my bullshit-o-meter is at like 9 out of 10.
Interesting. Okay. Caboose?
I feel like NASCAR should have thrown him a bone. I was watching it, and at his peripheral vision, he would have seen 2 cars starting to dip down towards him. That's why he dipped down. And you don't know if they're wrecking. Your spotter can't call it that quickly. So what he did was, yes, he went below the yellow line, regardless if it was before or after he got first, but it wasn't done with intent of passing. It was an intent of trying to avoid a plausible wreck.
Correct.
It's like when you're on the highway and then you see someone do like a smidge of a swerve out of the peripheral of your vision.
Yeah, you get the fuck out
You
of the way.
don't know what the hell they're doing. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He didn't turn to pass. He turned to avoid plausible wreckage.
Yep.
And I would have done the exact same thing.
Absolutely. 100%. Amp, your opinion?
Personally, I think it's bullshit. Many people said that they saw him already pass them when he went down there, but as Caboose said, it's instinct. When you see people getting close and racing like that, you're going to make sure your ass isn't in the fire too. I could have seen it one thing if his entire car went down to the apron when he finished, but his tires barely broke the fucking line.
Mm-hmm.
And then
was kind of forced
next
down
thing
there.
you know, I mean, yeah, okay, maybe if they wanted to hit him with it and maybe not hit him with the whole damn thing and put him back to 18 like they did.
Yeah, give him
Yeah.
like and that's a
At least give him
touchy
third
subject.
place.
All right, so the bullshit-o-meter
Yeah, no,
for
I understand.
Caboose. What's the bullshit-o-meter on that call?
I'd say a solid 7.5 out of 10.
Amp?
He did go below the line. There's the possibility that he was not past the leaders.
Let's Amp
chance that he was
bullshit-o-meter ping that right now.
I'll go about 8.5.
All right. Justin, send us off with the bullshit-o-meter.
I'd say 5. Because I'm torn on the issue right now.
Boo.
Just because, on one hand, Well, no. Ignoring, I think the actual thing was bullshit. I think he should have been given the win. But on the other hand, it was the rule. You're not allowed to pass below the yellow line. They don't really state in the rules what defines passing. Is it when, like, as far as I've seen, at least I looked up the rule and I couldn't figure it out. The rules are too basic right now for that kind of
Too
thing.
generic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Too
So
generically written.
it's literally up to the discretion of NASCAR. But it's like on the actual replay, yeah, he was past him, but he was still executing the process of the pass, like he was still doing it.
Right.
And
Yes, it was.
granted, he didn't have to move down below the yellow line, but as Caboose pointed out, you know, it's driver error and stuff like that, you know, instinct and whatnot. So it's like I'm so torn,
driver
50-50
smartness.
on it right now.
Getting the fuck out of the way.
I do think the rule needs to be reevaluated, and it needs to be set specifically because even Haley said it at the Xfinity race. They were not clear about it, or at the pre-race stuff. They were not clear enough about it. Yeah, they need to figure out specifics on that rule, along with a bunch of other rules as well, because there's too many rules that are at discretion of NASCAR, of the officials.
It's just resurface plate tracks.
I still think the rule
it-
should stay. I think passing under the yellow is still too dangerous and shouldn't be a thing. But on the other hand, it should still be reevaluated. It needs to be clarified.
And to clarify
Maybe some
for anybody
exceptions.
listening, the reason this should be a don't pass below the yellow thing is because of the way the cars handle now and stuff like that, how low they are to the ground. The banking is severely different on the apron, and you're risking a lot of other people if you try and get down there. So that's why that's a thing. But having said that, he barely got the left tires.
Yeah, I
below
think
the
it should
line.
be a full cross for one. Full cross the yellow line when you're not in. And I think you said it too, Hurdon. There should be no yellow lines on the tri-oval and on the straightaways.
No.
Or the straightaway. Only in turn 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's it.
Right.
And it should be a full cross. They should move the yellow line up a little bit, like maybe put it to where the edge of the yellow line is maybe 6 inches away from the actual apron change, and
sure.
make it to where if they hit past that yellow line, or maybe past one of the 2 yellow lines, then it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Something
It's
along those
definitely
lines.
something that's a really touchy subject, and there's no doubt about that. And y'all also want to talk about Toyota, since they don't win enough already. They're bringing in the
They
Supra.
decided to change their car for the Xfinity series.
Even
I
though
think it
the
looks
Corolla's
ugly.
doing perfectly fine.
It looks absolutely garbage. I think it's a stupid
uh,
move personally, but I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Gotta see how it performs.
I
first.
Now, the real question is are they still going to have a Toyota engine in it, or is it going to be anything like the actual new Supra and have a fucking BMW engine in it?
I guarantee you it'd be Toyota
idiots.
Racing Development. It'd be TRD.
Tiade.
Yep.
My biggest worry with the Supra is if you look at the front nose of it, it's smoothed out similar to how the Xfinity cars are currently set up, but it does have that little nub for where the nose is a nub on the actual car. And that worries me a bit on the plate racing side of things. You try giving someone a small bump. Did that?
Also, Bristol or Martinsville, where bumping is a thing.
Well, at that point, the front end's going to get smushed in, and who the fuck cares?
We just
The
gotta make
only-
it out of a different material because it's so flexible now. It used to be metal, now it's not.
The only thing that bugs me is the shape of the stock cars. Well, I do think the Supra is probably more beneficial than a Camry, of course. The problem is
Right.
the Camaro, the Mustang, and the Supra all look horrible, like with the way the roof line is designed around the back. And I think they need to reevaluate that a little bit to change that maybe a little bit, make it look more natural like the
maybe-
cars, since we're running 2-door cars only now. We're not running 4-door cars anymore. So
Maybe
they
you
had
should
that roof
call up
design for the
NASCAR.
SS and for the Fusion and the Camry. Might be time to change that. Make the cars look a little better.
Let's call them up and file a complaint. Put it
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the complaint jar. Not
Get rid of
anybody
that
ever
rear
reads
side
it.
window. Don't need it. But
So we're going to Kentucky, and Carbon, would you please enlighten me with your picks for Kentucky?
I don't even know anymore. I guess. I mean, you literally can't ignore Kyle Busch. He's been dominant this season yet again, and
Yeah.
he's going to continue that streak. He's going to get at least 2 or 3 more wins under this season for sure.
Absolutely.
So the dark horse, we
Harvick
were talking
to-
about this prior. Yeah.
Oh yeah, rule change to
To,
the podcast.
how do we wanna do the dark
If
horse?
they haven't won to this point in the year, which is almost the whole field, everybody gets to pick from people, even if they won last year, previous champions, anything like that. They're a dark horse if they haven't won this year.
Yeah, we're past the halfway point now. So
Or even
I
had
think
a
it's time
shot.
to- I think it's time to throw in dark horses as anyone who hasn't won it all this year. Because we do have like 7 winners now or something like that. So, granted, I'd still consider Jones a dark horse at literally anywhere else. But I mean,
Yeah.
and Austin Dillon.
Yeah.
But they won, so they get to go into the category now. People. So for my dark horse, aka people who have not won this season, I'm gonna go with Brad. And actually, I think you were gonna say him, weren't you, earlier? I completely forgot about that. But
Yeah.
regardless,
Yeah.
he's been doing really well, and he's been up there. He just hasn't quite gotten that win yet. So
All right. But who's your main one?
Kyle Busch.
Okay. And I'll just step in here for a second, since even though it's not my go, I'm just gonna say mine are the same as his. I'm with Carbon as the Kyle Busch and Brad. Caboose, have at it.
Well, I was gonna say Keselowski, but I'm gonna change that now.
You're good, Blaney.
I'm gonna go with Blaney and Bowman.
No, okay.
All right.
The 2 dark horses.
hmm
Very good.
The only reason why is because I'm actually
Ballsy.
going off my fantasy and I'm running out. Kyle Busch, Harvick, and
I've still got
Truex.
like 4 uses with them left.
Amp, what you got for
like
me?
2, 3, and 4.
I'm gonna go with for my regular, it's gonna be MTJ.
Okay.
He was pretty damn good. Survived last year, and then dark horse is gonna be old 7-time. He usually can pull something out of his ass for.
That's a
Kentucky.
good pick. That's a good pick. I like that. We'll taking a risk.
See if he can pull the golden horseshoe out of his ass.
You mean put it back in there?
No, that too. Take it
Yeah.
out of Harvick and Bush's asses.
No wonder why they're always around together.
What, one on each side of it?
Yeah.
Fucking attached.
Conjoined racers.
Really bad piercing.
Alright, we're getting too
experience.
deep into this. We better pull out
Too
before
deep.
we get too
Oh,
crazy
okay,
with
yeah,
this.
Somebody had to-
strong, yo.
somebody had to
And
go
the
there.
podcast has now been shut down. Goodbye, everyone.
All right, so we're banned from YouTube now. So that's been Broken Shifter podcast. You got our picks for Kentucky.
Well,
and
I do wanna make one
apparently
quick
Caboose
announcement.
has something else he wants to say.
So, the Broken Shifter podcast, this is our last season, unless we somehow rapidly pick up a shit ton of numbers.
And comments.
And comments and just everything. Everything needs to pick up because we're getting 1 view a week, if that. That isn't one of us. Just checking the video for quality and stuff. And so our release schedule is going to be a little bit more sporadic. A lot of us here, I'm not saying who or whom, just kind of
It's
lost
me.
interest in doing this and keeping an eye on the sport and stuff like that. We're still NASCAR fans through and through, but
We need the views.
it's not worth it if we're getting one view a week if we're lucky.
Yeah.
And no comments, and no likes, no feedback,
Yeah,
no nothing.
like seriously, leave some feedback and stuff like that, because editing these videos, lining it up and everything like that, putting something to watch behind it and stuff like that, you'd be surprised how much work it takes. So please, at least if you watch it, even if you don't like it, just give a thumbs up or a comment on what your picks are or something. You can give a thumbs
even
That's where a bunch
down
of shit
I don't
is.
give a shit.
and tell us what's wrong with it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
exactly. Because we feed off of you guys. We don't do these videos to do these videos. We do these videos so we can entertain
For other people.
you guys, give you guys something to look forward to,
And to build your awesome fantasy team that finishes last place every week.
Yes.
sure as fuck did
We're
that last
always
week.
last for nothing. I mean, what?
Yeah.
So, unless we start picking up a good number of views, and we're trying our best to not overly promote and get banned and stuff like that, we're trying to keep it true. I think that's the word I'm looking for, right, guys? Trying to keep it true.
And I
Sure.
promise you, if you actually leave
Box
a
truck.
comment, we will respond to you.
Yep.
So, yeah. This is going to be the last season of Broken Shifter Podcast, unless something really takes off, because other
Unless we go
videos are
viral,
doing
yo.
much better. Other videos are doing so much better, and it's just not
We're
worth
getting
the
20,
time
30,
and
40
effort.
views on other videos.
Yeah, but I mean, some of them are over 100 and stuff like that. My
Yeah.
Diablo videos got a lot more, but anyways, Broken Shifter Podcast. I'm Hurdon.
No, I'm Corbin.
I'm Caboose.
I think I'm Amp.